Hi guys, Ishmael from Realnet Properties here. I hope that you had a lovely Easter weekend and back safe. So today we're going to talk about 6 mistakes first-time buyers should avoid. Now, the first mistake is starting to view properties without doing a proper pre-qualification, and you may not really know what you may qualify for until you have provided documents to either a financial institution or to a bond originator to do a pre-qualification for you. It is an extremely important step to start with, so that you may be fixed on what you should expect and what you can afford, especially. The second mistake you should avoid is thinking that you will get everything you want in your home when you buy it. This is really not the case most of the time. You may get a maximum of 75 to 80% of what you would be looking in a house, so you have to do a trade-off. And some of the things that you can do over time, for example, should be one of those trade-offs that you can make. So if you've got let's say a big house with a lot of space, and but maybe you don't like something in the kitchen or in the bathrooms, that shouldn't be a very big deal. So these are the things you can do. But if maybe the house is small, for example, in size, but you've got a beautiful kitchen, a beautiful bathroom, but you don't have enough space, remember, you cannot create a space easily, especially if you buy in a sectional title, a townhouse, for example, or an apartment. You can't create a space. You can't widen your space. If it is maybe a full title house, then you can do that, but at what cost? So that is something that you may look at as well. Now, another very important mistake to avoid is underestimating your expenses. Remember, when you buy a house, you're not gonna be paying only the bond. There are other expenses: water, electricity, and especially levy and rent and taxes. If you buy in a sectional title an apartment or a townhouse, for example, you need to know what the levies are, because that is the biggest expense after your bond. So you need to ask your estate agent. A lot of first-time buyers don't know about these, and then there is rent and taxes as well that many don't know about. So you need to consider all of these, to engage in buying a particular property. So obviously, your pre-qualification is going to be based on the price of the house, or rather on what you may qualify for. But these extra expenses, you need to consider them as well. Otherwise, it's going to be a big burden for you afterward. The fourth mistake you should avoid is to rush. It's not because you saw a beautiful house and then you rush to buy. Maybe because you think somebody else is going to take it before you. Definitely there will be more beautiful houses in the market in the future as well, and you do that, you may overpay for the house, for example, and you may regret that later on. So take your time before you make a decision, and do not rush. So that is extremely important. Mistake number 6 is avoid falling in love with a particular property. That again will come down to rushing and buying maybe an overpriced home, or maybe in an area where you would not want to live for a long time. And so again, take your time. do not rush things. Do not just fall in love with a house and then you want to buy it at first hand. And um, the last mistake of today's discussions, it's not all, but the 6 points that we wanted to discuss today is thinking that renting is always paying somebody's bond or throwing money away. It's not always the case. Remember, when you buy, you always pay more than the rent of that same house, because of the other expenses we mentioned, the rent and taxes, and the levy. So renting is not always bad as such, especially if you're not sure that you're going to stay in an area for a long time, or maybe you don't want to, or maybe you're not sure because of the nature of your work. So if you're gonna stay in an area for 2-3 years, then you should rather consider renting rather than trying to buy. Now, as I said, you may be overpaying because of the other expenses, and then in 2-3 years time, if for some reason the market worsen and you happen to sell, you may be selling at a loss, and so meaning that you will lose more. Even if you sell it at the price you bought it for, you're still going to lose those extra 2,000-3,000 or even more that you've been paying on for levies and taxes and rates. So rather rent, and then consider buying in an area where you think you would live for a long time, many years, maybe back home, or maybe in a province where you think you're gonna stay longer. So that again, it's something to consider. So guys, I hope that it's been useful as information, but should you need more information, just let me know. And again, if you like the content and you like what the advice is, and you would want to hear more and more what we share with you time, and then subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you guys. Keep well, keep safe, and see you in the next video.